those magnificent men in their flying machines. They go up to the up, up, they go down to the up, down.
Hiya. Okay, I thought I'd come to this bit now, doing the dummy cowling. Now, I've got my camera lady, she's very rare, believe me, these days anyway. Okay, so, right, here we have the engine, if we guide it around. So, I don't know where to start really, because it's, so I put these in, it's not against the plan, they're just solid pieces of wood there to give it a bit of support for the actual cowling. Okay, so you see as it is, there's not much more, just white glued them in nicely. And then when there were blocks, and I've obviously sanded them to get this cowling on. Now this cowling, I might add this cowling, as you can see, when it comes in a mould and it's all just one big thing. And I was like, well. So, look at, I'm going to pan over to the picture. Okay, so I kept looking at the picture, like you do, you must keep looking at the picture to try and get a rough idea of how it's going to look. Back to this, Miss Camera Lady. Right, so, as you get a Dremel, I use the Dremel, this one here. Just use the Dremel and another type of Dremel in the end, just with the boards on them two, really. I'll just gradually cut away all the actual outer casing that it came with, if that makes sense, to get this shape. And I was constantly, once I got it roughly to the shape I wanted, I then used epoxy resin in here to solidify the front of it, to get just to hold together. As you can see, I know it looks messy, but eventually that won't be there, because I'm going to try, I might put some fiberglass sheeting on it, but I don't know yet, because it's quite tough now as it is. Okay, anyway, so that was the cowling. So I managed eventually, so I got it to fit on with a lot of sanding and that and shaping, and I finally got it the way I wanted it. Okay, so it just screws on nice. Alright, so that was the main, forget the white bit, just concentrate on the white plastic. And obviously as you were fitting it on, I had to make a space for the engine, which it needs a bit of breathing in a way. And when I looked at the actual plane, it looks very similar here with the bars off the 4-stroke, which is quite nice. This little heart, that's part of the shape. That's on the cowling on the model, on the real plane even, and the hole there, so there's a hole this side, and that's there. And also on the Shuttleworth collection, I got told off the other day because I said it was a museum, and I thought Shuttleworth was a museum, but there you go. Anyway, there's going to be 5 little holes there, it's actually on the real plane. I don't know what they're there for, but they'll be in it anyway. So that was, and basically you just got to get it so it fits nice and flush with the bottom of the fuse there, the line there, the middle line of the fuse, which I've managed to do. Okay, so once I got all that on and I screwed it all in nice, I then went to do the actual rest of the fuse. So the rest of the fuse, as you can see where the battery sits. Okay, and I believe that plate is here. Right, so right, this hole here is obviously for the actual the charger plug system, which I use in all my planes. With others, think it's one of these gadgets. Just simply one of these, which are really quite, I use them on all my planes, and I'd recommend, I'd recommend that anyone should use these. Probably got these off of Martin Thompson as well, so they basically just fit in there. Once it's all covered, they fit in, just an external charger thing, which is quite handy. And I'm quite fond of these things, so they were quite handy, because that's permanently fitted in there. Okay. Right, and then obviously this plate I've done so that it screws on. See, so that all screws in. Mainly because if you ever want to get to the engine or change the engine, you've got access to that and the battery, and that's basically what that's there for. A bit of hardwood there and a bit of hardwood there. Okay, and that's in there. Now the reason it's also off is this is where the bottom of the actual undercarriage wire is going to sit. So I'm going to have to find a groove, and that's why the hardwood's here, and there's hardwood at the back there to put the actual brackets on that holds it, the clamps that hold the undercarriage. Let's see, so you've got all that in. And once you've got that in and it's cut and shaped, then I sanded the rest of this with the cowling on. Okay, so we'll take off for now. And then I sanded it to get the shape, roughly the best I could, the shape of the front of the and dremeled out the hole there. So obviously when that goes in, see, it all fits like nice, see? And there you got it, okay? So to imitate that air intake there. Right, so that would be them. And then when you get back to this, see, if you just roughly put it on. See, so it looks similar to the actual real plane, okay? And then obviously this here is for to get the needle pin to adjust the engine, you know, to tune it. That's a must, you have to have that, and a little pin out there like an old place. So I did all that, and then thought, right, I made a decision. On the plan it says this piece here, this is part of the, well, you look on the plane, this piece here, on the plan it says to glue it to the fuselage, right? So I thought about that, and I thought great depth, perhaps I should, but then I thought, well, it would be easier. I've made mine, took an executive decision, as they say, and I made it so that it fitted onto the cowling, which is simply, as you can see, I just made it out of 2 bits of rough balsa, scrap balsa, supported it all, because when it comes to get it, this is all going to be sprayed. So I put some balsa lock on there, so that, you know, it gives it a shield, and then when it all gets to be sprayed, it'll be nice. And there's a little gap there, because obviously the covering, when the covering goes on to the fuse, you need a bit of gap so that it all looks nice and clean, tight fit. Okay, so that's that. So what remains now is, it's all sandwich shape as usual. What remains now is looking at the, well, take you back to the plane, if you can. Hello, camera lady. Right, so we take you back to the actual real thing. I'm going to try and get my best to get this authenticify as much with this piece of engine here. So we'll try and do a bit of that. And then obviously on the other side you've got the exhaust running down the other side. So that's what I'm going to concentrate over this weekend, to try and get that as nearest, damn it, to the real thing, you know. And I'd even find a little piece there that I don't know what that's for, but anyway, it's there. I might even fit a filler cap, I don't know. But anyway, that'll go in. Hence that's the little love art, as I say. Little love art jelly. Since it's Valentine's Day. My jelly. Right, so anyway. So back to that, I'll go in there. See the love art there. So this side has the exhaust. So I'll take off. So I'll work on, yeah, this side that will try and get the engine bit in. I don't want to cut too much of this away, because obviously it's a strengthening bit. But I'm sure I'll work it out. And then once it's all done, I'll clean it up and spray it. Okay, and then I'll work out which blue the spray is. Oh yeah, I must write it. I got my extortionate covering, yeah, for the wings. So all of 36 quid's worth, 3 meters. So we'll see how Oratex goes on wings, because I'm used to using Solatex, but this would be interesting. Anyway, that's roughly the colour. Okay, so that's really about it, mainly, because that's the way it is. Okay, so this weekend, once I finish work, thankfully, and I'm not drowned by the rain, jelly, I'll concentrate on getting the engine bit done that side, and the exhaust, blah blah blah. My pilots are on their way, thanks to Sean, and thank you to Paul for sending me the other pilot. Okay, but I've got a special pilot coming that Sean's making for me, Mr. Sean Wilkinson, with his 3D printer, which is fantastic. So when they come, I've got a special pilot for the front, and that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I can't say anymore. Jelly. So I'll concentrate on that, and I'm also I've started adapting the wing to fit on the top here, which will come, and so I'll probably get the wings done. In fact, this weekend I'll probably get a lot of the structural bits done, and then hopefully, well, this time next weekend, it'll be finished. That should be nice. Alright then, so, okay, cheerio, bye!
Those magnificent men, those magnificent men, those magnificent men.